There's no denying how great God of War 2018 was. It was a reboot that changed a lot about the series and went as far as ditching most of the original material, but somehow made it better than any game before it. It was engaging, unique, and emotional, and the same can be said about its sequel. However, there are some things the sequel did that I didn't like. Visually, God of War Ragnarok followed the format of the last game and produced amazing realistic visuals. Even though the game is a sequel and follows mostly the same art style, Ragnarok has its own feel, its own vibe, which makes it stand out, and just like its prequel, the game has no camera cuts, which increases the immersion all that much. The gameplay of Ragnarok didn't see much changes from the previous God of War. It was mostly added on and some things were replaced. You start with the Leviathan axe and the Blades of Chaos. There is a new power mode for the axe and a new move for the blades, along with special moves and stuff. Unlike the last game, this one has Atreus gameplay, and it is cool and all, but not variant, exciting, or as gory as Kratos' gameplay. But it was a solid addition. All the additions are welcomed ones, and elevated the quality of the gameplay a lot, not to mention the return of the RPG elements God of War 2018 introduced and the skill tree. There are some new additions to the skill tree, but it mostly followed the same format as the last game. There isn't a lot to look forward to, and I dare say that it was a very slight disappointment. The story of Ragnarok continues the one of the last game. After discovering his death in the prophecy of the giants, Kratos raises and trains Atreus as much as possible. But as Atreus grew, his curiosity and questions grew further. He went behind his father's back, discovering prophecy walls and more about Ragnarok and Odin. This catches the attention of Odin, so he pays Kratos a visit with Thor, asking for Kratos to suppress his son and stop him from lurking around. Kratos refuses and a conflict starts between the two families. Atreus shows his dad all the things he discovered, and even though he was hesitant at first, Kratos followed and helped his son to find the supposedly dead Tyr to find a way and stop Ragnarok. The story was solid enough, but I felt like it was more about Atreus and his prophecies rather than his bond with his father. Kratos felt like a supporting muscle and a guide for Atreus, and it's like they were trying to replace Kratos with Atreus for a future sequel. Overlooking that, the game has one of the best motion capture work I've ever seen, which shows the deep emotions behind the characters, and the ones we all loved from the past game return.
Hey! Not so fast. How'd that get in here? What the hell is it anyway?
That is my son.
Well, what in all yarns me that happened to him? He's too damn tall now. And he looks like that.
God of War Ragnarok felt like it was trying to make Atreus the new protagonist of the series, which bothered me a lot. The gameplay and the visuals are amazing, but the story, despite it being very good, took many wrong directions, and for that, it deserves a 9.1 out of 10.